County. It's 1:15 p.m. June 3rd. The way you know these guys are frauds and not investigators is one, and they don't have my best interest, is one, they would have told my parents years ago that I was the implanted guy and the victim. Two, they wouldn't have lied and said that these guys weren't terrorists when they were. Three, they wouldn't have lied and said my life wasn't in danger when it is, and I had devices in my brain, heart, lungs, and genitals. So the way that you know they're not investigators, the way you know they didn't have me and my family's best interest in mind is they lied about me being a victim of implantation. They lied about me being a victim of these implantable devices. They lied about me being a victim of the devices in my heart, meaning they left these things out and didn't report them. Knowing I was being slowly murdered, knowing I'm still being slowly murdered, knowing I'm being held hostage by rapists, pedophiles, and terrorists, and people who are so desperate they would kill their own mother. Some of these kids tried to frame their mothers and fathers. So they knew my life was in danger, and these investigators and these people claiming to know me who don't clearly were lying to my parents, knowing I was being slowly murdered, knowing these people had satellite weapons and were firing radiation at my brain. They were lying to my parents, knowing there was devices in my heart that people were shocking my heart with. So that's how you guys know these guys weren't investigators. They didn't have my best interest in mind. And they were really just trying to steal from me. And then they even lied that these people had lied and said these people weren't terrorists when they were terrorists. So don't trust these people. They were never trying to help. They never had my best interest in mind. They're even right now, these terrorists pretending to be investigators are using their witness tampering tech and wiping me because I had something better and more definitive to say. So they're using their witness tampering tech right now. Yeah, why would you do that? But the way you know they were never trying to help me, if they were trying to help me, why'd they lie for so long and say I wasn't implanted when they all knew I was implanted because they were all stealing from my brain via synthetic telepathy? They all knew I was being stalked. They were all gambling. Why'd they lie about this gambling ring and say it didn't exist? Why'd they lie about the theft of my IP? If they were helping me and had my best interest in mind and they're investigators, why were they lying about the ideas being stolen? Why were they lying and saying I wasn't implanted? Why were they lying and saying I wasn't a victim of a terrorist gambling ring and guys firing WMDs at me and more? Why'd they lie and say I wasn't the victim of some Illuminati gambling ring and then let other people pretend to be the victim of what I was a victim of and steal money? And why have they been repeatedly letting people steal money that's mine? If they had my best interest in mind. And not to mention, then the fact my life's in danger, and they know who some of these people are who tried to murder me, and who are still holding me hostage, why didn't they report them? Or at least tell my parents covertly. Why didn't they report them and their names? Because they don't have my best interest in mind. They're not investigators, and they're murderers, and they're stealing.